2 years of intense and collaborative work through the SB 1070 Career Technical Education Pathways Program and the OC Pathways grants. And these are two large county-wide grants that truly complement each other and both share the goals of regional alignment of curriculum and expanding early college credit opportunities for students in career pathways. But ultimately, behind these goals is the critical mission that we all share to prepare the region's workforce for the 21st century careers. So while many here and many who are not here today have spent significant time and effort over the last 2 years working on these projects, I would like to give special recognition to Deja Swingle. Deja, where are you? She's back here. And District Director of Grants and Education Services, who wrote the SB 1070 grant in 2013 and first led the grant for the first year. And to Stephanie Feger, Stephanie, the current director of they both have done a truly tremendous job, and I'm truly grateful that we have such exceptional staff in our district. The event today is truly a testimony of the power of collaboration and the knowledge, talent, and dedication of representatives from 14 K-12 school districts, 9 community colleges, local universities, numerous regional agencies, and many industry and community partners working together to prepare Orange County students for high demand, high skill, and competitive wage careers. And we are also fortunate that truly we have come to work together, know each other really well, and mostly like each other most of the time. But two organizations have really taken the lead role for the OC Pathways grant, Saddleback College and Orange County Department of Education. So it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Todd Burnett, President of Saddleback College, who is an ardent believer in the critical role that community colleges play in workforce and economic development.
Thank you, Andrea. Good afternoon, everybody. I'll tell you, this is a very exciting moment. If you think about it, a little over 2 years ago, Orange County, our K-12s, community colleges, business and industry, 4 years, many associations, we all came together for the first time. And we came together for the Orange County Pathways to apply for $15 million. We went up there, made a presentation, and I'll tell you, we heard back from all the reviewers. We nailed it, folks. We nailed it and got the largest gift. We got $15 million, which is wonderful. As you know, to create pathways, K through career pathways in 3 sectors: advanced manufacturing, healthcare, and information communication technology, and all the subsectors as well. But it also is a responsibility. And what I'm very proud of is to say that 2 years later, and thank you, Andrea and Coast District for sponsoring today's summit. Today is the first step to show the great work that everybody's been doing ever since for the last 2 years. As you all know, if you haven't been out there right now, you're going to see some of the curriculum alignment that they've been working on with our K-12s and community colleges. Also, put on your calendar that on June 12th through 14th, over at Chapman University, we'll be doing a institute, Curriculum Institute. 3 days that many of you and many others are going to be there for 3 days, have an intensive, the faculty and others have an intensive 3 days of working on the curriculum that we found. And today, of course, as you know, they're not only is taking an inventory of our curriculum, but figuring out where the gaps are, which is probably one of the most important things. So very excited about the June 12th at Chapman University that you'll hear more about it. I wanted to thank Superintendent Al Maharis, Dr. Maharis, who could not be here today. He's been a wonderful partner and champion of this entire Pathways process. Thank you, Jeff Herberger, which you're going to hear a little bit from in a minute. You're also going to hear from somebody that we work very close with. She's dynamic. She is really spearheading the economic and workforce development efforts statewide. She's been a wonderful partner. I love working with her, but Bon Ton Pillion Vice Chancellor, which you're all going to... Let's give her a round of applause, guys. So happy that you're here. Well, anyway, On behalf of the 9 community colleges, which is Saddleback's the honor to be able to lead, all of our 9 community colleges, we're thrilled to be a partner with all of our K through 12s, once again, business and industry, our ROPs, or adult education, everybody that's involved in each of these sectors. So with that, thank you all for being here. Good luck on this. We'll see you on the 12th. And folks, let's make these pathways so our students can really be trained properly and we can really help our economy. Thank you.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Jeff Ittenberger, Chief Academic Officer at Orange County Department of Education. Jeff has been a great partner and leader in our collaboration, and we love him.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to welcome you on behalf of our County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Almijares, who is a big believer in the work that's happening here. This is a time of really unprecedented collaboration between pre-K-12 on the one hand and higher ed on the other. We're really, really excited about that, and this project represents the local version of that statewide collaboration that is happening now, and we could not be more delighted. I would like to take a moment to really thank and acknowledge all of the team members who have been a part of creating what you're about to see. Teachers and counselors, faculty, administrators who put tremendous amount of work, as well as the facilitators who have helped them along the way. Let's have a round of applause. Very quickly, as I was driving up Fairview here, I saw a couple students walking down the street, either from Costa Mesa High School at the end of the day, or they might have been Orange Coast students. But it reminded me of what we're doing here. It's all about those students. Is what we're doing making a difference for them? Will it create greater opportunities for students who wouldn't otherwise have them? That continues to be our focus, and it is really good and important work. I add to Todd's thanks, my thanks to Vaughn for being here, and you're going to hear from her in just a moment. Thank you for being here and supporting this work to make to equip all of our students to be college and career ready and successful. Thank you.
The California Community College's Chancellor's Office is really our advocate on behalf of the 113 community colleges in California. And they have done a really great job in advocating with the state legislature for funding designated for the continued development and enhancement of career pathways from high schools to community colleges to universities. And actually, if you had had a chance to read the brief summary of the May revise, it's looking good for us. So we will continue to have a chance to build on the work that we have done today. And Vice Chancellor Van Ton really is the one to whom we need to thank for this. She has been a very strong voice, an advocate, a partner, a colleague. She truly understands what challenges we face here at the local level. And she really, since she has started at the State Chancellor's Office, we have had a truly renewed energy about what workforce development and economic development really should be in terms of California community colleges. So, and we are really pleased and honored that she has made time to be with us today.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you so much, Todd and Jeff. And it's really actually my honor to come down here and learn from you all. Orange County was an early host to one of our regional conversations, which then began to cascade a set of regional conversations around the state. So I actually like to come here and collect intel and then brag about you to other regions. So I came off the airplane today reading a memo from 10 federal state agencies. Let me just share with you some of their names. The White House National Economic Council, the Office of Management and Budget, the Departments of Agriculture, Commerce, Defense, Education, Energy, Health and Human Services, Housing and Urban Development, and so on. 10 federal agencies. And you know what they signed the memo on? It was around the agreement that they will build similar collaboration around career pathways, focused on industry sectors that drive regional economies. So if any day you just can't stand the partners that you're working with, just feel really sorry for the folks at the national level trying to get together. So what you have is an alignment where these same key principles are driving federal collaboration. At the state level, we have 7 state agencies having the same discussion under the context of WIOA, which is the new Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, aligning everything from our metrics to the elements of pathways and sectors and our data infrastructure so that regional economies can thrive. And so we're doing all that work, and then I come down here really just to thank you for continuing to show us the way as we study the things that you're doing here in Orange County, in focusing on doing what matters for jobs and economy and creating a strong workforce. And really look forward to celebrating every moment when your students cross the finish line, not only the academic finish line, but also the workforce finish line. So thank you for having me here. Look forward to learning all from you.
Hi, everybody. So as you can see, we didn't set up too many chairs here because we didn't want you to linger too long in the lobby, because in the boardroom is really where all the action is. But I wanted to give you a little bit of context to explain some of the work that we've been undertaking and what you're going to see today. So career pathways provide a seamless sequence of academic and CTE coursework across K-12 and post-secondary education. They serve as accelerators for students to easily transition between our education systems and meet the growing need for a skilled workforce. The implementation of career pathways in Orange County is grounded in research and directly linked to the implementation roadmap outlined in the Stroke Task Force report and proposed in the governor's budget. So the work that you'll see here today begins with 3 essential questions. How do we align career pathways that lead students to higher levels of education and high-value jobs? How do we promote career pathways to guide students in making more informed choices about college and career? And how do we scale career pathways to drive systems alignment and serve as an engine for growing jobs in our region? To address our first question, we brought together faculty with industry sector experts to improve alignment of secondary and post-secondary CTE programs. We expanded early college credit opportunities to help students get a jump start in college. And we deepened integration of CTE with core academic subjects, English and math. How do we structure these curriculum alignment teams? Well, we had teams composed of secondary and college faculty. We also brought them together among 6 industry sectors: advanced manufacturing, biotech, digital media arts, engineering, healthcare, and ICT. And the teams used evidence-based approaches to review and align curricula and identify a foundational or hinge course for early college credit. We also are convening a STEM Bridge course. There's a group that's working on this, and the charge for the STEM Bridge course is to address math learning barriers that students face when they transition from high school to college. Teachers, college faculty, and working professionals are developing a math course that integrates applied STEM learning experiences to lead students to transfer-level math success and develop student STEM awareness and more aspirations. So the outcome for the STEM Bridge course is a regional model to support all students entering college without math remediation required. So today you'll have a chance to review these team posters and discuss their findings and recommendations for pathway alignment. Then to promote career pathways and guide students on career choices, we've convened counselors to identify and develop best practices. The charge for counselors is to communicate the value and validity of K-14 career pathways, to develop the structures and routines to engage students in navigating career pathways, and to examine pathway transitions and identify a regional plan to guide students from one level to the next. The outcomes of their work will be to advance a regional best practice network for scaling up K-14 career pathways. And they'll document regional strategies and best practices for monitoring and supporting student interest, progress, and outcomes in K-14 career pathways. And our final question has both short-term and long-term implications. How do we scale up career pathways? Our immediate next step is to convene the Pathway Leadership Team at the Summer Institute that Dr. Burnett referred to. It's June 2nd through 4th. But that's really going to expand our work with industry-informed career pathways. We're also expanding work-based learning opportunities, both virtually and face-to-face. However, we also need to expand and strengthen our regional partnerships to align policy, curriculum, student support, and effectively engage business and industry in scaling up career pathways. We invite you to join us in those partnerships. So now I'd like to turn things over to Don Rougeau, our colleague and consultant on all things curriculum alignment, and he's going to walk us through the order of operations for the poster session today.
I'd like to just say thank you all for being here today. This is a momentous occasion, and anytime we get to celebrate the hard work that you all do and all the curriculum alignment team work on behalf of our students, that's an exceptional opportunity. So what's going to happen, once I've done my remarks here, we're going to ask all the curriculum alignment team members and the counselors to go into the main room there and get set up at their stations. So we're going to have three rotations where you get to choose one station for about 20 minutes, where the curriculum alignment team members will present their information to you. There'll be a modest amount of time for you to ask some questions. You'll hear a chime. After that first 20 minutes, then you'll move to the next station, and then we will repeat, right, 3 times. After that, then we will have some closing remarks, and everyone will be in the board at that time. I would ask that you just sort of self-manage yourselves as you go up to the stations. So if everyone's in one station, maybe trickle over to the station next door so they don't feel like they're being ignored. Okay, so any questions at this point? Okay, so if we can have our curriculum alignment team folks go ahead and head on in there and get yourself set up. After that, everyone else can go. Thank you.
So first, we started off by creating some, we created a protocol as to how we would generate the modules, and then we identified the industry facilitators that were involved in the group, and then we created a set of questions that would inquire as to how they incorporate ELA and math into their CTE courses. Then we identified the areas of strength and the areas where we could improve and include these courses. We came up with topics, writing summative responses, writing narrative and informative essays, the kinds of writing that would be required for that particular course.
Hi, I'm Melissa Figge. I'm a consultant for Orange County Department of Education. I'm a retired high school counselor. I was a counselor for 30 years at Woodbridge High School in Irvine. And I'm going to talk a little bit about career guidance programs and our vision for a coordinated regional program. Who doesn't want their child to understand from an early age the way their interests, their skills, and their personality aligns with success in careers? That's what school counselors want for every student with whom they work. For the last 15 years, we've been pounding A through G into our families, and we've been very successful. And as a result, most families think that if their child isn't following the A through G pathway, they're not going to have a successful adult life. And that's wrong. We need students to know that there's more than one way to win. We have a vision of what we would like to see First of all, counselors, administrators, and educators need to share this burden. College and career readiness and CTE awareness needs to be infused into classrooms. Secondly, we need professional development and we need to work together. Thirdly, we would love to see a K-14 career guidance curriculum that's developmental, sequential, research-based, and data-driven, used across the county. So regardless of where you go to school, there's a certain awareness of career guidance at each grade level. And this would make students' transitions from level to level much more effective.
So my name's Emily McKenzie, and I'm from Irvine Valley College. And we have a consortium of 4 different community colleges, Santa Ana, Santiago, Fullerton. We're from different districts, and we all came together to align our curriculum. So we came up with 4 different core courses that are in our biotech certificate based on feedback that we received from the industry and what they wanted in entry-level skilled employers. So then we got together and we looked at the different courses and we decided, okay, well, what's the very fundamental core class or skills that they need? And we put those into what's now our capstone course. We then came together with a couple different high schools. They're here as well, Dana Hills High School and Fountain Valley High School. And we're looking at aligning our capstone course and bringing that into the high school. As you can see, I forgot to mention, we're biotechnology. So biotechnology is basically just using enzymes, microbes, any living organism or protein to better the world or the environment. And there's many different applications of that. There is substantial growth in the industry, and we're getting a lot of feedback from industry that they really need entry-level skilled individuals. The growth here. So our curriculum base is kind of outlined here. We're basing it on the CIDs. For those of you that are familiar with the CIDs, it's a statewide initiative to align our curriculum. We have various assessments that we have generated that we'll also be handing out with this different pathways. And then we're focusing on the work-based learning. A very important aspect of the Pathway program is not only to reach out to the high schools and capture those students that maybe aren't sure where they want to go or aren't necessarily college-bound right away, to get them usable skills and then get them into industry as internships. So that's part of our work-based learning.
Good afternoon. Today I'm going to present the STEM pathway for our audience here, and we have a few key points here, such as the ALEX program, which is very helpful for the algebra courses that we offer, the intermediate and the elementary ones. And our STAR programs are the Jumpstart programs that we had a pilot last summer. And the students from high schools, the incoming freshmen, joined our college, Golden West College, that's our college. And a lot of them were successful in jumping a level after they took the assessment. We tried again in winter of 2016 for 4 weeks, and we offered it for the Golden West students. And now what we're doing this summer, we are going to incorporate these 2 programs and have a Jumpstart, which is a 10-day workshop for the students, and it's going to be completely free. We are going to have a combination of both Golden West students and high school students, the incoming freshmen. In these 2 programs, we are going to offer the 2 10-day workshops for both elementary and intermediate algebra courses. And after the end of the workshop, they're going to take an assessment, and if they jump 1 level, they're going to be in a higher level.
At Samueli Academy, which is a public charter high school here in Orange County, still kind of a startup, but we're an engineering and design pathway school. And we are totally on board with everything you just heard here about advanced manufacturing and how important it is. I'm from the steel mill country back east. My co-teacher is from Detroit. So we're all about manufacturing, but not dumb manufacturing, it's smart manufacturing. So what's smart manufacturing? It means you need to know all this math, and you need to do it smartly. So once you, in this contextualized model, you want to design some parts for a performance automobile, you need to know materials and pick the right material, find out what's the cutting speed for that material in your CNC machines, your computer-controlled machines, and then be able to use your knowledge of math and geometry and tolerancing and be able to understand how to choose the correct speed, and then have some experience what works, what doesn't, and be able to do the level of math that's required for advanced manufacturing. So that's what we do, and like I said, we're totally bought in. We're doing additive manufacturing, like the 3D printers, the subtractive, which they've described here as CNC machines. We like to get those into the high school and get kids used to the very basics of that, so the community colleges and the Cal States and the others can take over from there.
My name is Greg French. I'm with Santiago High School. I am the K through 12 facilitator for the ICT effort that we did. We reviewed 42 courses, mostly from the college, but quite a few from the high schools. We found some hinge courses that we could agree on between the colleges and the high school, and we're looking to start some dual enrollment on those hinge courses. One of the courses is Computer Science Principles. It's AP approved, and it's a course that we could get college credit for. The computer science area has been lacking in the high schools for quite a long time, but now we have a lot of money available, a lot of emphasis, so it's growing really, really fast. This fall, there's a tremendous amount of classes and courses that are going to be available. Two that I like really well is the Beauty and Joy of Computing from Berkeley. It's a fabulous course. They're bragging that they have the highest number of women in a course, over 52%, and that's unbelievable for the computer science area. Another course is the Mobile CSP out of Trinity College. They're bragging that they get the highest AP test scores, and they're based on the MIT App Inventor, which is you program on the computer, you hook up your tablet wirelessly, and it actually starts programming on your phone as you're working on the computer. So it's very engaging for the kids. They can create games, applications. It's been a lot of fun. I'm teaching that in the computer science area. I'm also teaching Project Lead the Way Python. But Python has been pretty tough for a year-long class to get a kid first introduced to Python and then as a fairly accomplished programmer. Just in a year long, it's pretty tough. So we've supplemented both the Scratch from the Beauty and Joy of Computing in Berkeley and the mobile CSP, the MIT App Inventor, and they've really enjoyed that. It's helped to really keep them engaged and moving forward. The networking side, though, is the one that's we're really trying to support and move forward. Some of the resources are falling from the networking side into the computer science, and that's unfortunate because the networking side has so much opportunity. Average earning right now is about $88,000, and it's going up. I got my son-in-law involved in this because he couldn't find a job. He went from 0 to $95,000 in 18 months. Had a degree already, but he couldn't find a job. We're seeing a lot of graduating engineers going into networking now, and a lot of people with master's degrees because there's so much opportunity right now. And it's just continuing to grow. We got Internet of Everything coming, and that's going to increase probably our data on Internet by almost 1,000%. It's going to be pretty much device-driven instead of user-driven, but it's going to require more resources for both the infrastructure, jobs, everything. We're looking to put more emphasis on a program called Cyber Patriot. It's a national competition that the kids can be involved in. It's just been introduced this year to middle school, and its emphasis is cybersecurity. So we're seeing the middle school kids just really excited about this, and we're hoping to get that excitement moving to the high schools and then to the community colleges. Again, on the networking path. Cisco Academies is now available for any team that is involved in Cyber Patriot. The coach can get free access to Cisco Academy to teach cybersecurity. It's a course that they've developed. Also, the Internet of Everything and entrepreneurship. And then if they get certified, either IT Essentials to teach the A+, that's on there, or CCNA is on there too. The teacher has to get certified. But there's a great story about Long Beach City College and Long Beach Unified. Well, a teacher from Lakewood went to Long Beach City College. He said, hey, I've got some tech classes that I'm teaching. Can we articulate or possibly do dual enrollment? It just took off. His first class was about 20 students. Second class was like 50, 100, 200. Today they're doing 10 sections. It's only been ongoing for about 2 years now. it's a great model for all of us to look at and learn from and possibly do the same thing.
Articulation or dual enrollment?
It's all dual enrollment. The kids start in the program as a freshman or sophomore on the high school campus. The high school teacher gets an adjunct status from the community college if he's certified in these classes, and so the kids get the college credit. Then as their junior and senior level, they move over to the college campus and finish up 2 more years. Parents love it, kids love it, it's free for the kids, so they get free college credit.
It's our pleasure to have this afternoon with us Vice Chancellor for Workforce and Economic Development, Ron Quinlivan from the State Chancellor's Office, joining us at the Orange County K-14 Career Pathway Summit. So, just wondering, what are your impressions about today's event, and in the light of upcoming developments in the budget for 16-17, what do you think our focus should be for 16-17?
Well, I continue to be very impressed with Orange County and see Orange County as showing other regions the way on how to do career pathways, focus on sectors that are important to regional economy. Orange County continues to do it very well. You can see the level of collaboration between the K-12 system, the community colleges, as well as its other 4-year partners and the business community. So let's continue the momentum in terms of building a strong workforce and doing what matters for jobs in the economy.
Well, thank you, really. We really appreciate it that you came today, and it's been a lot of good work, and we want to ensure that the initiative you helped start more than 4 years ago, doing what matters for the job and the economy, will continue strong in Orange County. So thank you so much.
Great to support you.
Thank you.
It would have to be in all of our math sections to accommodate.
Any math class should have relevant information.
Okay, so that's what you're talking about.
Actually, thank you all for coming. On behalf of Orange County Department of Ed, the community colleges, all the K-12s, I think you guys are making a great impact for helping our kids. And one of the things we want to do as we close this is kind of get your feedback in terms of your thoughts. Did we do a good job, and how the team's doing? Does anyone want to kind of share what their thoughts are? You have a comment? Yes.
Hi, my name is Dorothy Brooks. I'm from Golden West College, and I just wanted to say how amazing every single one of these curriculum alignment groups is, and the work that came out of it is amazing and exactly what we're all hoping to be doing. So thank you all to everybody who has been part of this collaboration.
In fact, what I'd like to do, just to recognize all the hard work, is can we give a rounding applause for all the hard work that's been done here today and that's being presented today. We do this right so that the career pathways that we're developing here in Orange County are sustainable after the grant, so that we're doing the right thing for our students and for the workplace. So I want to once again thank all of you for coming, and thank you for being part of this. I think this is a really special event and a special future for our students. And if, some of us just came back from San Diego from the CPT Institute, and I have to proudly say I think that we're one of the best CPT programs out in the state of California. So with that, I'm going to let you guys all hit that freeway before the rush hour starts. And once again, thank you all for coming and participating. We're going to see you in June.